The Thunder win down to the Spurs as they now lead the series 1-0. And Chet Holmgren was a little bit of a no-show, only 8 points. He was -7 on the floor. In fact, Holmgren only took one field goal attempt with Wemby as his primary defender. A made three late in the second quarter. Remember, this was the second overall pick for Oklahoma City. And so, Stephen A., what did you make of Holmgren's performance last night?
You know, San Antonio, as I said, is here. And so I wanted to make a left turn with this show because I have the ability to do that from time to time. Mm-hmm. And with Will Bond here in our New York studios with you, Shay, and Cameron, I wanted to give the basketball world something to think about that should, for its consideration. In the event that Oklahoma City gets knocked off in this postseason, primarily because Chet Holmgren, who's due a huge raise. He's at $13 million now. New salary kicks in at $41 million next season. Something to consider. We've been talking a lot about New York, a lot about Miami, in terms of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
How about this, Will Bond? I did say earlier in the show that Oklahoma City has at least 13 first-round picks between now and 2032. And at least 16 second-round picks. How about if I sat up there and I told you that you Oklahoma City and you're willing to let go of Chet Holmgren and one of those young dudes, not Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, all right? Whether it's A.J. Mitchell, whether it's Cason Wallace, whether it's Isaiah Joe, or whomever, you understand? If anybody can afford to let go of two players that are in the rotation, it is Oklahoma City, along with 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. What would you say to that? Giannis in Oklahoma City with a Hartenstein, okay? With a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with a J-Dub, potentially with an A.J. Mitchell, potentially with the Cason Wallace. Man, you only talk about 2 players, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. What would y'all say to that?
I would, Stephen A., I hang around New Yorkers, you and Tony, too much. Because yesterday I said to him during the break on PTI, I said, if you lose in your OKC, do you need to take a big swing? And he was like, yes, 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 Giannis. And so you two are on the same page. What a shock. Yes, Stephen A., Giannis needs a reset, all right? Because right now he's become a rumor. He hasn't been available for any playoffs in a long time.
Totally
he
true.
needs to be. That would be a great place for him, it seems to me. There'd be some pressure still, but less of it playing with SGA and the lineup you said. Yes, I would do that deal if I'm both parties.
Cameron?
Oh, man, that's tough. Giving up 7 years.
Yeah.
When you think about
it is.
I agree.
Yeah, you're giving up 7 years. Giannis 31, Chet 24. But if you're in a win now situation, I love what you just said. Giannis is a rumor. Yeah. But I don't think Giannis wants to go to a small market. He's always, I want to be in a big market, Do you
I think he want to win.
I was just about to say that. What's more important, the market that you want to be in, or do you want to win? Do you want to go shopping on 34th Street in Times Square and so on and so forth?
It's not so much about a win-now situation. Right. Of course that is, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if San Antonio beats you, and Chet Holmgren gets thoroughly outplayed while that's happening.
Right. You're going to invest
if I want to compete with San Antonio in the future, do I not have to upgrade?
No, I agree with you, but you got to make sure that Giannis wants to stay there because you don't want to get him for the year and then he doesn't stay there and then it's a 1-year rental.
I got you, but I'm just talking about, I'm not even considering any of that. I'm just talking strictly
Can you have Giannis for a good 3 or 4 years run with SGA? Stephen A., I love that. I love that possibility. The framework might have to change a little bit, but the particulars, but the framework would be there.
And remember, Giannis in the open court. Remember, he's good for 30 and 11 a night. Remember that he's somebody you have to contend with on a defensive side of the ball, which might compromise you offensively to some degree. And he's a legit 6'11". Let's not forget that.
True.
I don't know that you would need to give up Chet Holmgren and a player and 2 first-round picks and 2 second. Like, wouldn't Chet plus 2 ones and 2 twos
But
do it?
Shay, then don't fret over that.
Right.
Because they got 13
They have
picks
all the assets.
in the first round and 16 in the second round.
Right.
They can afford it.
Like it.
True. I like it too. All right, coming up, Knicks, Cavs, a trip to the finals on the line. Stephen A will tell you what the biggest question should be as we head into tonight's game 1 at MSG. That's next.
And in the foreseeable future. So there's a level of urgency that everybody in the league has to have, but especially OKC, because here's why. Can it get any better than the situation that Oklahoma City has right now? You have the reigning 2-time league MVP as your star. You got a cat in Jalen Williams, J-Dub, where he and Evan Mobley a couple of years ago were the only 2 dudes that made All-NBA plus an All-NBA defensive team, okay? You got 2 7-footers in Holmgren and Hartenstein, all right? You got A.J. Mitchell and McCain and Casey Wallace and these brothers who can play. And on top of it all, between now and 2032, over the next 6 years, the Oklahoma City Thunder have 13 first-round picks and 16 second-round picks. And it is very possible that with everything that I just laid out, because of this dude in Victor Wembanyama and these dudes in the San Antonio Spurs, that if you don't knock them off now, you may never see another NBA Finals because they are in your conference, standing in your way, and letting you know they are taking it personal and they are coming for you. As smooth as silk and as cool as SGA is, this ain't the time for that. You got to be loud. You got to be demonstrative. You've got to be emphatic. You've got to come and say, I'm not giving it up. You gonna have to come take it because I'm not giving it to you. We ain't going out like that. He's got to do it. And Chet Holmgren has to help him along with everybody else because San Antonio ain't messing around. They ain't messing around.
OKC is actually younger than San Antonio as a team, actually.
Yeah, I think they both average
because of Harrison Barnes and
Right,
De'Aaron
yeah,
Fox.
absolutely,
But
yeah.
the nucleus of
Yeah,
San
no,
Antonio
you're absolutely
is
right.
the same.
Yep.
Yeah, they average. They think they both average like they're 25, 26 against each other. Wilbon and I were talking on the break. You can tell Wemby's got that like MJ, Kobe, that fire, the pettiness, as you mentioned. I don't know who else in the league has it right now besides him that I know of, like that outwardly speaks that way. So that'll be interesting to watch going forward. All right, coming up here on First Take, Donovan Mitchell is less than 48 hours to rest while the Knicks